Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Simnaya. Thank you so much for the support. Hope you all are doing great. So I came across a video, right? Where this woman, she's Palestinian American, according to her. So the group, it was a group trip to Palestine. And she was talking about her experience with the black people that went on the trip, how they were being racist. And she is saying that she thought that black people have been oppressed so bad that they are supposed to understand other people's oppression. I mean, I don't know what these people think black people are, that they are monolith or something. I just do not understand it. But one thing I want to tell you people is that you all know yourselves. You are lying. Black people also do not owe you anything, any support or any trying to be in alignment with anybody when you all cannot even help yourselves. You all are so quick to call out black people for nothing. Okay, she is trying to tell us that there is no place for racism when it comes to Palestine. That everybody live in peace and all that. That even in Palestine, even black people have more power than them, the Palestinians. The kind of lies they come out here to tell, you make it look like I am just like, that I was just born today. Like, I don't know politics. I don't know what has been happening. I don't know how Afro-Palestinians are being treated. She knows that she is gaslighting. Let's get into this video.
I don't know what I was expecting from my trip to Palestine, but I certainly did not expect to walk away with racial tensions between myself and the black people in our group. And that's really disappointing for me to admit because I was so excited to go on this trip with black Americans because I was always under the impression that black people will be our greatest allies because they understand more than anybody what it's like to live under occupation, what it's like to be oppressed and racially profiled. But during the trip, it felt like some people were too busy playing oppression Olympics to fully grasp the experiences of Palestinians living in Palestine. Some people came on the trip with a very limited understanding of the Palestinian people and the Palestinian cause, which is problematic in and of itself. But the most problematic thing was the fact that some people were applying a Western lens of racial dynamics to a place where it does not apply. I am not going to sit here and deny that anti-blackness exists in every single part of the world. But the issue of race is much different in Palestine than in most other places in the world. In Palestine, Palestinians of all colors are undoubtedly the most oppressed people. In Palestine, a non-Palestinian black person is more privileged than a Palestinian of any color. And an American, black or white, is one of the most privileged people in Palestine, right beneath Israelis. Some people in the group were too busy victimizing themselves and taking out their anger on all the wrong people to sit with the reality that in modern day, there are some people that are more oppressed than them. One person in particular was incredibly problematic, especially considering she was one of the group leads who was hosting private conversations exclusively for the 7 black people in the group, which under almost any other circumstances I would encourage. I encourage black people to create safe spaces for themselves to discuss racial issues among themselves. But the issue is that the only comments I heard come out of this person's mouth about Palestine and Palestinians were negative, were about how racist we are, were about how slavery persisted until the 20th century in Palestine, which is such an uneducated take, by the way. It was not exclusive to black people, and it was not done mostly by Palestinians. So I believe these conversations being hosted by a person who came to Palestine with biases against Palestinians were so dangerous to Palestinians and ultimately to Black Palestinian solidarity. The most ironic part about all of this is the fact that we sat and had dinner with Afro-Palestinians in Palestine. He sat and broke bread with the family who runs the Afro-Palestinian Center in Jerusalem. They are black. They are visibly black, and yet they are highly respected in the Palestinian community for the work that they do for Palestinians. I even talked to the chef at our hotel in the last couple of days, who was a political prisoner. He had just gotten out of prison 2 months before we arrived in Palestine. And he told us that he sat side by side with an Afro-Palestinian, son of the couple who runs the Afro-Palestinian Center. He sat with him in prison, and he was shocked when I asked him about racism in Palestine, because he was like, those are my brothers. I don't care what color they are. During this trip, I sat with Palestinians and I told them, talk to me bluntly. I'm a Palestinian. I'm not going to judge our community. Talk to me about racism in Palestine. And every single one of them was like, what is there to say? Like, racism exists in every community, yes. But in Palestine, it's actually few and far between. Because the issue of race is so much more complicated in a place like Palestine. And I have been involved in Black activism for many years. And I know that when I am in Black spaces, it is not my place to call out issues within the Black community, especially when those people are being slaughtered. When I am in Black spaces, I am there to observe, to learn, to be an ally, not to call out Black people. By the way, these same people who sat there and talked all this shit about how racist Palestinians are did not hesitate to pose in front of a ginormous George Floyd mural painted by a Palestinian artist. They posed with that artist in front of the mural. And I bet they wouldn't dare look that artist in the face and say that he's racist. By the way, go support that artist. He's Banksy.2 on Instagram. He's an incredible person, incredible artist who I'm still in communication with. He is struggling right now. His daughter is in the hospital, so please reach out and try to help in any way that you can. But I refused to pose in that picture with the rest of the group because literally an hour before that, they were making fun of Palestinians. We passed a mural that was supposed to be, I believe, of Nelson Mandela, but it wasn't the greatest art. And so it kind of looked like George Floyd, and they couldn't tell who it was. And they literally said, I'm so sick of these people. And yet they won't hesitate to pose in front of a George Floyd mural for a social media photo op. Even when we were about to walk into a masjid, there were beggars outside the masjid who asked some people for money. And she made a comment about how, oh, notice how they're not asking the Black people for money because they think all Black people are poor. And I said, you don't know that. Those same people didn't ask me, a Palestinian American, for money. They're not assuming I'm poor. In fact, when they know you're American, you're immediately up here to them. They immediately assume you have money and that you're privileged in ways that they'll never experience. The reason that they didn't ask some people for money had nothing to do with the fact that those people are Black. They simply just approached a few people out of the entire group asking for money. I could ramble about this for hours because it was one of the most frustrating things of my life to watch people come from America to a place like Palestine and act like they're more oppressed than people literally living under occupation. And it's so ironic because the entire time I'm trying to find parallels between the lives of Palestinians, between the racial profiling that I experienced as a Palestinian and the experiences of Black people in America. I thought that this would be an opportunity for us to come together and understand each other better, not to create more division. But this is why some people are so dangerous to the movement, not only to the pro-Palestinian movement, but also to Black activism. Because if I was somebody else, if I haven't already done so much work for the Black community, if I didn't already have a deep understanding of racial dynamics, this entire experience might have pushed me away from the Black community. But I know that these rotten tomatoes in the community do not represent the Black community as a whole. One of the most ironic parts about all of this is that before making this video, I was sitting in a cafe in Amman, journaling my thoughts about this topic, and I got interrupted by a waiter at the restaurant who asked me where I'm from, and we started chatting, and it turns out he is Jamaican and Palestinian. But ultimately, I think if you have internal biases against Palestinians, you should not be going to Palestine. And if you don't want to acknowledge the experiences of Palestinians in their entirety, then to be honest, we don't need you as an ally. Seeing what Palestinians are going through only makes you think, yeah, no, we have it worse. When you're an American, you are not a true ally. And I will be talking more about the issue of people taking trips to Palestine with a limited understanding of Palestinians and Palestinian history, because there were so many other issues with some of the people who went on this trip for all the wrong reasons. I don't know what I was expecting.
This is all I got from this video, and I think people like this particular woman really need to take several steps. She said she was not invited to this the conversation. So how did she get to hear all this? Some people really think that Black people owe them everything. Like Black people are supposed to give out. Like, the only thing they are waiting is till the day Black people will just drain their blood and hand it over to them. Then they will be happy. I mean, they want everything. They want Black people to be on chopping block for them when they cannot even lift a stone for them. See, enough of telling Black people to create a set group where they can, talk about Palestine. Do you people create any set group for Black people to? Oh, see, sincerely speaking, some people are just selfish. When people have all they want is them, everything they want is all about them. It is never all about any other person. It is never all about Black. It is just all about them, Just take care of us, know about us, understand us, so that your life will be longer. Like, how? Create a group and get to understand. How many groups have you people created to understand Black people? Everybody's always saying that Black people have been through a lot, that they feel like they are supposed to understand Palestine. Do Palestinians understand Black people at all? This is what I am asking. You all wake up and everything, it is just all about you. You all do not care about anyone else. That's why when Black people pulled out from the support, you all said, how can you people not support us? Like, oh, they make it look like Black people owe them their lives, sincerely speaking. I am just fed up. Really, I am just fed up. I don't know why every group expects so much from Black people when you people cannot pick up a pin for Black people. Why is everybody calling on Black people? Why is everybody finding something to say about Black people? You are telling me that racism has no place in Palestine. Are you being serious right now? Are there no Afro-Palestinians? How are they being treated? Who are the Albi? Really? Let me make this. Now, I don't know how to make them understand this, but Black people do not owe you anything. And she talked about rotten tomatoes and all that. Are there no rotten tomatoes in your community? Are they? And I am sure that if you look for these girls that she is talking about, stories will expand. Stories will expand. But she has already said hers. But I already know them. Her bros already tells, when she is talking, look at her eyebrow. You will know if she's telling the truth or not. But I do not trust anybody. I don't trust them when it comes to Palestinian movement and Black people's movement. I don't trust anybody. Because I've been following this for a longer time, since last year or last 2 years. So I am very sure when I say some certain things. And she is telling us that because they have George Floyd's painting, right? So for that reason, how can you people be maybe racist towards people that look like me? Are you being serious right now? Like, we don't know. I mean, I fell from heaven. I fell from wherever I fell from today. So I don't understand politics. I don't know what is going on in Palestine. I don't understand also how Palestinians also treat Afro-Palestinians. I don't know all this. So I am just hearing about this discussion for the first time today. Bye for now.